In Chapter 22 of Dark Deity, the group attempts to take over the main bridge heading into the capital. With Sophia's help, the group is able to split up and surround the enemies on the bridge. So I put Helena, Maeve, Fenton, Lincoln, Caius, and Sloane on the right side, and then everybody else on my main squad on the left. The left side seems to have like the most number of enemies as well as some of the toughest ones, so I keep my best units on the left side. Now the right side is fairly simple, so I'm just going to kind of mention my strategy and then just not talk about it in the future. On the right side, I simply push my melee units forward, as the enemies can't really do much damage to them. I then use my ranged people to finish off any survivors, and Lincoln heals whoever needs it. Left side just infinitely respawns some really weak and melee units every turn, so I'm just going to kind of not talk about this in the future and just assume they're doing that every single turn. So on the left side, after beating the first few enemies, I'm basically forced to split my team yet again to beat the top and bottom sides with the enemies. Each one of these groups is led by one of my god tier windrunners. I'm telling you, best class in the whole game. As the group starts to push closer to the boss, some of the enemies retreat, which causes massive blob of enemies, and that makes the enemy phase really rough, as most of them are mages, and so they all get to slowly chip away at my team. Luckily, my team manages to survive, and I'm quickly able to clear up the remaining enemies. I consider grinding the infinitely respawning enemies on the right side, but they just give so little EXP, I just can't force myself to actually sit there and grind. So I just finish off the last enemy and end the chapter. After the chapter ends, Sloane goes to Irving and confronts him, telling him that the only way for them to properly reunite Delia after the king is dead is for Sloane's father to also die. After a little debate, because that is Sloane murdering her own dad, the group then decides that, yeah, they have to go and confront Sloane's father at his home.